Hello, everybody. Welcome to another upload on the Rosie Murphy channel. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. We cover various topics here. There's, of course, interesting things and fun things down in the playlist: RVing, vintage audio repair, metal detecting. And there's even more over on the Rosie O'Kelly channel. So I hope that you'll consider subscribing over there too. Always great content for over 7 years here on the channel. This channel, though, the Rosie Murphy channel, one of the hallmarks of it has been to explore economics with an eye towards history. Because human nature never really changes. People get scared when times are tough. They get greedy when times are plentiful. We can always count on that to reveal behavior that carries over from situation to situation, century after century, thousands of years on. Human nature remains the same, only the landscape changes. So if you enjoy the musings here, it may actually keep you ahead of the game a little bit as we go forward into a very uncertain future, certainly one of the darkest times that I can remember. Being one step ahead on the chessboard can certainly be a positive. Our first duty is, of course, self-preservation, and then the loved ones around us, and then society at large. So put yourself in a position where you'll be able to do good for others once the smoke clears and things normalize again. We have to be prepared here. And I'm not the one that's saying this. It's the United States Federal Reserve, the St. Louis Federal Reserve, speaking about unemployment coming up. And they're talking about a potential of 47 million jobs being lost. Now, we know they're always going to air, and the news media is going to puff that up and make that something a little more sensational to get people clicking on it, to maybe click through an ad. But the reality is, when you see what the job losses are and what the industries are composed of, it's not too far-fetched to see that we could reach a 30+% unemployment rate on this country. Now, we never came near that in the Great Depression. A 30% unemployment rate would be 50% still higher than during the Great Depression, where unemployment peaked out at about 20%. And this is very rapid. This is very scary because people assume, oh, it's just going to come back. Those restaurants will open again. They'll be flooded with people. The movie theaters. We don't really know that for sure. This could be a long, slow grind back with real implications for governance, real implications for budgets, real implications for the dollar, world currencies, world markets. Well, the ripple effect is amazing. But it's interesting that they were talking about. This is the St. Louis Fed. Fred Bullard is, of course, the governor. There are various Federal Reserve branches: Kansas City, St. Louis, you have New York, Richmond, Virginia. They're all situated, or Dallas. They're situated, San Francisco. They're situated around the nation. They all compile data and reports. So they've identified that there's 67 million Americans that are at risk in the labor force. Now, they expect that the plunge will be short-lived. We don't know. We don't know what the return rate will be. We don't know what the dislocations for lending in the markets, or starting up business, and how much time we'll have to get reestablished. We just don't know. We're in totally uncharted waters here. We remain optimistic, but we have to be realistic too. Now, they talk about some of the that this is a unique shock to the system, but this doesn't even account for, they said, workers like people that drop out of the labor force and things because they don't want to be 3.3 million people filed last week. They're expecting 3 million to file again this week. The monthly report for for March will show probably not much of an impact on it because statistics were gathered earlier in the month. It's the April report that'll show the dramatic surge. But when you think about the people that are high risk for layoff: salespeople, production, food preparation and services, 27.3 million people are in high contact intensive jobs. Barbers and stylists, airline attendants, food and beverage services. So you can certainly see that is something that's very likely to happen here. as we undergo what could be a very difficult month of April. So it's interesting to see and to be aware of that. I hope in a future musing here, that's just sort of reporting the news on there, and it's something to chew on. And remember, it's not me, it's the United States Federal Reserve Branch in St. Louis that's putting that information out. That's a stunning sort of expose that they're considering. In future musings, I'll be looking at how could an economy whittle down so quickly and so rapidly. It's almost like an axe fell and just cut off these people. And a lot of that, I'll contend, had to do with the shape of governance and measures of the Great Society to make sure we can all be winners and that nobody is left behind. And we created a lot of dead wood in the forest of economics in America and other countries around the world that could never be cleared through normal and containable brush fires over time. So now we pay the price of seeing a society that built up a fringe of employment that really is not necessary in this scheme of things. There's a difference between wants and desires, and we'll explore how a Federal Reserve that continuously put the safety net under an economy for over 50 years created a situation where we have a structurally very unsound economy. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching today. Your thumbs up are appreciated. Your comments are always welcome in the comments section down below. And as I said, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And also consider the Rosie O'Kelly channel. Thanks so much, everybody.